What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I want to talk about the reasons why I'm getting out the military. This is gonna be a part one. So I'm getting out the military very soon. I'm almost free, but the reason why I'm getting out the military is because one, I'm being overworked and underappreciated. So like sometimes, unfortunately, like most times in the military, like it's very kind of chaotic in a way because there's constantly people getting out the military. There's people moving to different workstations, duty stations, and all that. There's people are constantly moving and getting out. So me, I'm in a position to where I'm doing a lot for my specific job, and I'm doing a lot for my MOS. And me, I'm considered as a lower enlisted. I'm not an NCO. I'm not a sergeant. I'm an E4. I'm a specialist, right? And me, I work with supply. I'm a 92 Yankee. I'm supply, and I'm pretty much taking on the whole workload by myself, and it's been like that for like over a year and a half. And I've completed change of commands. I've completed NTC rotational packing, even deployment packing as well. But the thing is that like I'm short in numbers and I don't have anyone. So when you're lower enlisted and yet you're the only supply, yeah, the whole company, they're gonna rely on you to get shit done. And I feel like I got a lot of shit done, but and I've made some minor mistakes, but these minor mistakes was due to me not having a like of people. And I was doing shit at a lot of unreasonable deadlines because when I came into a company, I had to replace a couple of supply people that gotten fired, that they fucked up pretty much. So now I had to cover for them, and I was placed with all this unanswered property all over the place where it shouldn't be. So I was trying to manage all of it so like, everything could be on order while doing a change of command and all this other shit. So I completed all of that, and I've made a couple property mistakes. Is justifiable because if you're the only person doing all of this as a lower enlisted at such a chaotic deadline timeline, I was doing change of command while preparing for deployment rotations. I was doing all of that while covering for previous supply that got fired, and property was all over the place. So I was dealing with all this. I completed all of that, which is fine. But if you make like mistakes or slip ups, then your leadership or people, they'll do things to like make you look bad by like giving you counseling or even Article 15 or even like um not leadership per se, but like your higher rankings. I think your peers that are higher ranking over you, they'll try to talk down on you or like they'll try to like talk bad about you if you make a minor mistake. And instead of them correcting the issue, they'll be verbally abusive about it. You know what I'm saying? So I've experienced that a couple times and shit. And I've it took me a lot to kind of bite my tongue and to not confront back because obviously that's gonna cause a lot of issues and I've worked so hard to be in the military. I've done my years. I'm almost getting out, so I don't want to risk of me like fighting someone or cussing someone out to where it's gonna affect me and my benefits. You know what I'm saying? So I rather just get out and secure my benefits. But like also I feel like I'm not into drama like that, so I rather not feed into situations like that. But yeah, I've been in situations where like I really had to bite my tongue and I really had to maintain my self control because there's a lot of people who are just verbally abusive or either that or people they're just unreasonable or they don't know too much about my job. So then they'll assume, oh, I made a property mistake. Oh, I deserve an Article 15 or I deserve like a counseling write up. So they're kind of strict like that, not in a good way, in a way where like it's very unreasonable. So I feel like I like my job. I feel like I was getting really good at it, but the thing is, since there's a lot of micromanagement and they don't know too much about what I do with my job, they'll look at me as making a mistake or multiple mistakes as a big issue to where now I need to get counseling or I need to get written up for it. So I'm like, well, what's the point of me continuing my job, doing what I gotta do, if all they're gonna do is write me up or trying to like set me up to fail or to make me look bad if I make a minor slip up, knowing I have no people underneath my belt that my higher battalion or S4 failed to bring people in to support me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's ridiculous. I feel like it's unfair. So that's one of the reasons why I'm getting out of the military because I've been burned out. I've been working so many long hours. I've been busting my ass off, try to maintain company supply and property, and I've done that. But when I make a couple mistakes, then that's when I get written up. That's when I get counseling, or like I get shit on for that. So I'm like, fuck all that. Like I'm not gonna continue busting my ass off, losing sleep and sacrificing so many hours. I'm usually I'm usually one of the people that will leave last at work, and I'm just only one guy. I'm not the arms room where like they have multiple people. No, I'm one person managing all this property. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not going to continue this treatment. So why continue it when people are going to treat me like shit, pretty much? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not dealing with all that. I'm pretty much doing everything by myself. And like most companies that have their own clerks, they're backed with multiple supply people. You know what I'm saying? While me, I'm by myself, and it's always been like that for a while. So, and whenever I do get new people and like new clerks and all that, they're either new, so I have to train them, or they're reclasses, or they had to get surgery, so now they can't even go to work or show up to work with me. So now I'm still dealt with doing shit by myself, pretty much. Which, like I said, I don't mind, but it's only a problem when I'm getting counseled or I'm getting written up due to situations that I made a mistake by accident. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's kind of unfair in a way. So it is what it is. But that's one of the reasons why I'm getting out the military. Another reason as well is that I just don't like how people talk to. I don't like how people talk, especially with high rankings and stuff. Like they could be very disrespectful, or like even if they're not trying to be disrespectful, is how they come across. To where if I was a civilian, if I was in the outside world, or even before I enlisted, if people were to talk to me how they were talking to me while serving, I would have a problem with that. I don't like how people will just come at you sometimes, or like they'll just raise their voice, or they'll ask like a smart ass question, or they'll try you, or like they'll say something very insulting. It doesn't have to be with like cuss words or anything, but they'll just say certain things to where it's very insulting. You know what I'm saying? And me, like, I'm a very like I can't find a word, but I'm a very like kind of like I want to say serious, but I really take myself very like I'm very protective of myself. I'm not defensive per se, but I'm very protective of myself. So like, especially the background, what I've experienced and what I've came from. Um, I feel like I had to have a lot of self-control on how people are talking to me in the military. It's not just me, it's how this is the culture, how people talk to other people in general. Me, I don't like it, and it makes me uncomfortable, and it rubs me off the wrong way. So I'd have a lot of self-control and like walking away, not choosing to engage and stuff like that, especially like higher leadership, pretty much. I don't like how they talk to other people. I don't like how they talk to me and stuff like that. Or like they'll kind of disrespect you, or like they'll raise their voice, or they'll say something slick or smart. You know what I'm saying? This audacity, they will say that. Either they think they could get away with it because of their rank, or they're not thinking, or because they're miserable, they're under stress, so they want to project their shit onto you. So like, I'm tired of like constantly dealing with that shit. And I mean, I'm grown. I'm 28. I'm almost 30. So like, I'm not gonna deal with all that shit my whole life. I'm not gonna deal with this shit my whole career. I mean, so I'm like, no, I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here, and start off a new life path, because I'm not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's kind of hard military, because you're kind of forced to be professional, but when you're around people who refuse to act professional, when they lash out, when they can't control their emotions, especially, and people I've experienced that with, they're a higher ranking than me. I'm lower enlisted. They're NCOs that are acting like that. I actually have a lot of stories with that I will share in the future. And so it's been very fucked up. So like, I'm not fucking dealing with that, because I feel like the longer if I stay in, or if I re-enlist, or if I continue to stay here, then I feel like I'm eventually gonna have a lot of problems with a lot of people, and how they're fucking, this is what their fucking attitudes, or how they're talking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not dealing with that. I'm too grown. I have too much respect for myself, so I'm not dealing with that shit. So that's one of the reasons why I'm choosing to walk away, and to not re-enlist, and to get out. Because if I were to stay longer, then I have a lot of problems with people. So yeah, so because I kind of know my limits in a way, so that's why I don't want to get into trouble. I don't risk messing up my benefits, pretty much. So overall, the reason why I'm getting out the military is because I'm being overworked and underappreciated, micromanagement, lack of support for my job, also dealing with disrespectful people, how they talk, and it's all a leadership thing, honestly. So I understand things happen outside of your control. Sometimes they can't bring people in to help support me, and is this part of the mission? Is this part of not the mission, but this is part of how it is? Because it's a process to bring people in. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, yo, if what's the point of me doing my job proficiently if you guys gonna micromanage me or like write me up or give me accounting or Article 15 over things that I'm making a minor mistake every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna ruin a soldier's confidence. Why would they want to work underneath you if you're gonna constantly make them paranoid like that? You're not treating them like a human being. You're treating them like a fucking robot. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Military reads numbers, but there are times where like you have to use your emotions and logic. You gotta learn how to balance it out. That's how you become a good leader. But if leadership isn't doing that, then I feel like why would I even continue to work under them? You know what I'm saying? So, and but yeah. So that's one of the reasons why. And there's a lot of overworking, a lot of burnout, um, a lack of support within my MOS, and people's attitudes. So that's the only reason why I want to get out. I'm too grown for this, but that's a part one, and I'll make a part two in the future. And that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.